President Trump also is attempting to force the Smithsonian to change its museums, exhibits, and operations to reflect his view of American history. NBC News has learned the White House sent a letter to museum officials directing a wide review of 8 of the Smithsonian's 21 museums ahead of America's 250th anniversary. And within 120 days, the White House says the Smithsonian must replace, quote, divisive or ideologically driven language with unifying, historically accurate, and constructive descriptions. This latest letter comes just days after the Smithsonian changed its text on a description of President Trump's impeachment following the January 6th Capitol riot. The new wording has no references to Trump's statement challenging the 2020 election results as being false. Whoa.
I mean, let's be blunt. This is really bad and really dangerous. A nation needs to know its history. It has to be honest about its history, to learn from it, to honor it, and also to then grow and improve for the present and future. There's no way that rewriting a history to fit one president's vision is good for a nation's health or is good for a nation's democracy. We've already seen the Smithsonian change its impeachment exhibit, because to eliminate the references to President Trump. They've been restored, modified, edited, sanitized some, but at least they're back. But now it seems like that's just the first step to a sweeping revisiting of American history through the Smithsonian's. We already know a little bit about how this president views this issue in his administration. We're seeing Confederate monuments being restored to parks in Washington. We're seeing military bases being renamed by 2 Confederate generals, or clever by half, some named after the same name, Bragg, as a Confederate general. And Anthony Coley, this is not what a healthy democracy does. No. You can be patriotic. You can love your country. We have the 250th anniversary next year. Certainly President Trump and his team are already gearing up towards really celebrating that. Some of that is good. But to honor a nation's history, you have to be honest about it. And to rewash it, to sanitize it, right, to whitewash it, right, to not be honest about it, right, that's not good.
Trump is taking issue with how slavery is depicted at museums here in the nation's capital. But it is a far different tone than he struck 8 years ago when he first came to the White House.
It's a new, beautiful Smithsonian museum that serves as a shining example of African Americans' incredible contributions to our culture, our society, and our history.
Now, that was back in February 2017, about 1 month after he came into office, when he spoke glowingly about the Smithsonian and its historic presentation of America's original sin.
It also tells of the great struggle for freedom and equality that prevailed against the sins of slavery and the injustice of discrimination.
I covered the first Trump administration, and I was thinking back to that visit this week when the president escalated his attack on the Smithsonian in a new post on Truth Social, when he wrote this: "The Smithsonian is out of control, where everything discussed is how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, and how unaccomplished the downtrodden have been. Nothing about success, nothing about brightness, nothing about the future." Now, that sure sounds different than the first time he visited the museum as he walked through the hallways and looked at the exhibits. As far as we can tell, they haven't changed their tone. So what has changed in the last 8 years? The president's embrace of ideology as he attacks universities, cultural institutions like the Smithsonian have become so notable. They animate his followers, there's no doubt. They also distract from other challenges and issues of the day. Now, the depiction of slavery, those historic representations, certainly sound so different now as he's urging his attorneys to conduct reviews of the Smithsonian, given his embrace 8 years ago.
I'm deeply proud that we now have a museum that honors the millions of African American men and women who built our national heritage, especially when it comes to faith, culture, and the unbreakable
Sorry,
American
Mr. Columbus, but I heard at school that you spoiled paradise and you brought slavery and murder to peaceful people.
Leo?
Sorry, it's what I read and heard at school.
Caramba! Those are some accusations. The place I discovered was beautiful. But it wasn't exactly a paradise of civilization, and the native people were far from peaceful.
But you just said the Taino were peaceful.
They pretty much are. But there are other tribes who aren't. The Taino I had met had cuts and scars and bruises all over them. I asked why, and they told me about the Caribs, who are vicious, warring cannibals.
Cannibals? Like they
Eat people, see,
Whoa.
right? Hey, all the things that are bad in the world I come from, jealousy, lying, murder, war, it all exists in the land I just found too. But in Europe, we draw the line at things like eating people and human sacrifice. Some of the native folks from where I just left do those things regularly. So, these people in your time who think it was a peaceful paradise are misinformed. Or lying.
Yeah, but what about slavery? You didn't deny that.
Deny? No. Slavery is as old as time and has taken place in every corner of the world, even amongst the people I just left. Being taken as a slave is better than being killed, no? I don't see the problem.
Well, in our time, we view slavery as being evil and terrible.
Ah, magnifico! That's wonderful! I am glad humanity has reached such a time. But you said you're from 500 years in the future? How can you come here to the 15th century and judge me by your standards from the 21st century? For those in the future to look back and do this is, well, estúpido.
I don't think Christopher Columbus was a villain. And maybe he wasn't a hero, but he sure did some heroic things that are definitely worth celebrating.
And a lot of the things we judge him for now were just normal in his time.
This is Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10. It reads, Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. Shalom Akim, Kol Loyim La, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ruchak Wadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. You Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations. But your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. Peace and blessings to you all. Barak Thumb. Hey man, we told you. All right, you heard from the prophets, man. These devils was going to show their ass. These Edomites was going to show you their ass. Now that they're in the last moments of their rulership, there's no need to pretend anymore. There's no need to pretend. There's no need to placate as if you're a friend of ours or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's time to take that mask off and let your hair down. God damn it! It's time to do it, man. It's time. You see what I'm saying? It's time, man. Because you know in the spirit that your time is up. All you Edomites, you so-called Caucasians, so-called white people that you proclaimed yourself to be in the year 1681, man, you know your time is up, man. So let down the facade. You see what I'm saying? Just as the prophets said that you would, just as the scriptures said that you would, man. Let me get this in Isaiah chapter 42. Let's get it. All right, it's time for Esau Edom to show you niggas what he really think about you. You see what I'm saying? Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 9. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. You see? This thing had to happen, man. All right? And the prophets have warned you for decades. All right? From our apostles, going on 40 years, to those of the great men who taught them. You see what I'm saying? We told you that this devil is going to show you how he feels about you. He's going to show you his true nature, man. The Lord is going to unleash these devils. He's going to unleash these Edomites upon you. And you're going to see who these devils truly are, because you forgot. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians, Hispanics, Seminole Indians, you've forgotten who this man is. These Edomites who have done the most grotesque things, and they're making the final attempt to cover their tracks. All right? They're making the attempt to cover their tracks, man. Because they know, like I said, they know that their time is up. Let's get this in Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah chapter 30. Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. It's their time, man. It's time for them to go and taste of what it is that they gave us, man. All right? And get it twofold. Because according to them, right? According to them, slavery wasn't so bad. It wasn't all that bad. You know what I'm saying? Just a little tap here and there. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that bad, man. Stop belly aching. Hey, guess what? You'll get to enjoy the same thing. You'll get to enjoy this too. You get to see for yourself just how not so bad it was. This is Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 49, starting at verse 10. It reads, But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not. Leave thy fatherless children. I will preserve them alive, and let thy widows trust in me. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. It wasn't for us, the Israelites, to drink of this cup. The cup of what? The cup of adversity, the cup of slavery, the cup of these curses, being the least, being the lowest, being at the bottom. It wasn't for us to taste of this cup, but we assuredly drinking it, man. Continuing on, it says, And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. You see what I'm saying? And you Christians need to shut the hell up. You so-called Christians need to shut the hell up, man, because you don't know these scriptures. You don't know what you're talking about in any of this stuff, man. You see what I'm saying? All you do is jump to John 3:16 with no understanding. Don't even know what that's talking about. You don't know what the conversation is even going into. It was Yahushua speaking to Nicodemus, one Israelite speaking to another Israelite concerning Israelite matters. So y'all Christians, go sit down somewhere, man, because you done lost this thing. All right? Y'all had all the time in the world to tell everybody the truth. Not once did you go into who Esau Edom is. Not once did you talk about the truth of the narrative of the scriptures, man. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. You Edomites are not going to get away with what you've done. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to get away with that. Revelation chapter 13, verse 9, it says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. This here is the patience and the faith of the saints, man, because we're going to come and we're going to come in strong, man. We're going to come in strong. We're going to come in as true, perfect beings. We're going to have the power bestowed upon us by our Lord Yahweh Shai, spiritual power, new bodies. This is what the highest level of Edomites dream about. These Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Warburgs, Gettys, DuPonts, Oppenheimers, all these jokers at the tippy top, they envy you Israelites because they know that you have what they won't have ever. They'll never have what we're going to have. Because their forefather sold his birthright. This is why they envy you. This is why they're about to come down with great wrath. You see what I'm saying? They're inching towards their 250th year of the revival of this fourth beast. And no empire of the past has gone for more than 250 years. You see what I'm saying? And America is no different. You see what I'm saying? America is facing its end right now. And right now, these Edomites are making a last ditch effort to cover up their sins. There's so many precepts that's running through my mind, man. They would love to tell you that slavery wasn't so bad. And if you give these devils the narrative long enough, they'll tell you that it never even happened. You see? Let's get this here in the book of Daniel. This is Daniel chapter 9. Verse 11, it says, "Yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Lord, because we have sinned against him. And he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem." You see what I'm saying? No matter how much they want to say that everyone is God, yeah, we know that, but nothing Nothing has happened to anyone else as it has happened to the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians. Don't forget that the transatlantic slave trade began with the northern tribes. The so-called Latinos, Hispanics, Native Indians, sent to serve out Spain. You see what I'm saying? These people are going to face the judgment for what they've done, man. Let's go to Numbers. This is Numbers chapter 35. And verse 33, it reads, "So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. And Esau, you have shed a lot of blood. A lot of blood is on your hands, Esau. You can't cleanse your hands of this, man. You can't just write this off in a legislation somewhere. Because everything that you have done has been recorded. We don't have the footage of how you skewered people and how you strung them up high. We don't have the footage. We don't have the footage of how you tied up men's limbs to different horses and had them run in separate directions. We don't have the footage of that. You see what I'm saying? But Lord knows, as the Lord liveth, he has seen everything. Real quick. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 3. It reads, "The eyes of the Lord are in every place. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good." I remember I brought this out in a previous lesson last week. And I went and I touched on this one point because I had asked the AI module, all right, I asked that platform, what would the world look like under a world ruled by Edomites? What would the world look like if it was run by Edomites, man? And the 9th point that it gave me was historical revisionism. An Edomite ruled world might engage in historical revisionism, promoting a narrative that emphasizes Edomite contributions and achievements, potentially reinterpreting historical events to favor their perspective. Let me look this up real quick. Let's go to revisionism and get the definition. All right, this is where you get your whitewashing. This is where you get all the sculptures and the defacing of monuments. All right, different paintings hidden away in vaults. Different architecture destroyed. Essentially whitewashing history. This is revisionism. Revisionism is the advocacy of the revising or the revision of an accepted, usually long-standing view, a theory or a doctrine, especially a revision of historical events and movements. All right? A recurrent tendency within the communist movement to revise Marx's theory. No, that's not what I want. So let me get the etymology. Let me go to etymology. All right. Revisionism from 1903, originally in reference to a policy of introducing socialism gradually. The general sense of revised attitude towards some situation or doctrine, etc. The favoring or supporting of revisionism by a creed or a law, etc. It's from 1850 as a noun from 1854 in reference to one who favors or supports revision, specifically in reference to historical narratives. Okay? So they're coming through and they're erasing you veterans from the archives, basically as if you didn't even serve. You see what I'm saying? I have you know what I'm saying, I have members in my family that had served in the Navy. You know what I'm saying? And this is what we're talking about, man. We've been told you that these devils, all right? The prophets had told you that they were going to tap back into their scientific racism. They're going to go heavily into their revisionism. You see what I'm saying? They're going to make sure that you're etched out, that you're erased out of history, man. All right? Because they know what they see when they look into those telescopes. They know what they see. You see what I'm saying? They know that they see the Lord, the Lord's angels. All right. They know that there's nothing they can do. Yahweh Shai is coming back, and he's coming back with a vengeance, man. He's coming to destroy. He's not coming here to have a dialogue. Let me get this here. In Isaiah chapter 63. Verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom, with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, travailing in the greatness of his strength. All right, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? The Lord is coming to spill that crimson color, you know what I'm saying, all around this place, man. All right? He's coming for vengeance, man. Verse 3, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my recompense is come. The year of my redeemed is come, Salakia. All right, and this is what you so-called Christians will never get into. You'll never get into the true meat of this word, man. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that, man. You see what I'm saying? The Lord is not coming back for peace. He's not doing that. Let's go here. Let's go to Matthew. This is Matthew chapter 10 and Matthew 10 verse 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. The Lord is going to plead with the nations because of what y'all did. All right. This is Joel chapter 3. Joel chapter 3 and verse 2, it says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. When all hell's breaking loose, man, World War III is in the thick, and these jokers are over in the Levant region, Yahushua is going to show up. He's going to return. And he's got something to say. You see what I'm saying? He's got something to say. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Yeah, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. Who is his gold and who's his silver? Let's go to Lamentations. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 1. How is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold. How are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the work of the hands of the potter? Right now, the sons of Jacob, they don't seem like much of the ruling type. You see what I'm saying? They don't seem like anyone who would be suited for rulership. Yet that's exactly who's going to rule this next world. The new world, the true world. You see what I'm saying? Let me get that real quick. Bear with me, Hakim. Let's go to the Apocrypha. Let me see. So this is Sirach chapter 11, verse 5. It says, many kings have sat down upon the ground, and one that was never thought of hath worn the crown. Y'all Y'all don't see that as a possibility. You see what I'm saying? We ain't nothing but some niggas, some spicks, some wetback tontos. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing special about us, right? To the contrary. You see what I'm saying? To the contrary. And you're going to see it for yourselves. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon. Chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for." Verse 3, "And they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, This was he, whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor." They'll never see you jokers out here to have honor. They'll say at best the only thing you're worth is dribbling the ball, running down the field, and eating chicken. You see what I'm saying? Laying up in your teepees and shaking your butts everywhere and have a sombrero on your head. That's all you are to them, man. That's all you are. But the scriptures say you are different. All right, you're different than that. Let's go to Deuteronomy. And they're going to see when the Lord's elect are being gathered, they're going to see it. And they're not going to know what to do with themselves, man. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 8. "When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people," not everyone else, his people. "For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance." You Jakes out there, when we say you Jakes, we're talking about you sons and daughters of Jacob. You see what I'm saying? Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. "He found him in a desert land, and in the waste howling wilderness he led him about. He instructed him and kept him as the apple of his eye." You see what I'm saying? You're worth more than what they tell you you are. You see what I'm saying? And all this history that they're trying to hide, the Lord is going to allow everyone to see it. You see what I'm saying? And all these things that Esau's trying to bury about his own past, the world is going to see who they truly are. When we have these devils in captivity, the way they had us, we're going to show the nations exactly what y'all did. All around the world. Or you're going to be embarrassed and truly shamed. What is that in Habakkuk? It's Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 16. It says, "Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. This is what you're trying to hide. You're trying to hide the shame of what you've done, man. Because there is no profane person, all right, or grotesque person as Esau Edom, man. All right. Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. No one else. You. He chose you. All right. And set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them. All right. It's talking about the Israelite foreigners. And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them into their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. We were your captives, now you will be ours. You see? Whose captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors. We're going to rule over the colonizers, man. You see what I'm saying? They love to say what goes around comes around. Well, it's about to come around. It's about to come around, man. So, keep your head up to all you of the hopeful elect, man. Because he can destroy the entire museums. He can destroy all the records, man. The same way they sank all those ships. The same way they sank all those ships. You got these niggas out here talking about, well, where's the ships at? If we was brought here, where's the ships? They sank them all. They sank them all. You see what I'm saying? And there's no hiding from this truth, man. There's no hiding from the reality of what you're about to face. All you Edomites. Every single last one of them. Those of you who's listening to these lessons, who's being edified, you know what I'm saying? Even if you may look like any of these other nations, you may look like a so-called Chinese, Japanese, all right, Ishmaelite, so-called Arab, so on and so forth, Philippine. You may look like any of these other people. You may look like a so-called Caucasian, so-called white man, white woman. You may look like that. But if these lessons are reaching your spirit, man, you see what I'm saying? It's a good chance that through the line of your fathers, you may be an Israelite. All right, that goes back to these so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians, and you don't know it. You see what I'm saying? Because right now, none of us have proper DNA. But we do have the word. And it's the truth that's gathering the elect. You see what I'm saying? Let me end this off in the book of Joel. Joel chapter 2 and verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, Yasha Allah, and that I am the Lord Yahweh, your power, and none else. And my people shall never be ashamed. You see what I'm saying? All the things that they've done, man. Alligator bait. Slavery wasn't that bad. Ripping people to shreds in front of their families. Slavery wasn't that bad. Raping our women and our children in front of us. Slavery wasn't that bad. Whip a man's back until his bone is exposed. Slavery wasn't that bad. You get to see what that feels like very soon. I gotta get this. You're gonna get it very soon. And then I want you to tell me that it's not that bad. Don't worry. I'll enjoy it just as much as you will. This is Psalms chapter 149, verse 4. It says, "For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. He will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High power be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai." And I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Wachakudash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and who teach well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.